My name is Faz Singhateh and I am playing Othello in Elysium's production of Othello. In the past, I've worked with Elysium on various occasions, playing such characters as Martinus in Playland and Lucius in Jesus Hop the A-Train. I really enjoy working with Elysium. I love the way that they bring theatre, Shakespeare and otherwise, to different parts of the country who may not necessarily have the opportunity to see live theatre. I love the ethos of what it is that they try and create, and I also enjoy working in a company that at its core has a set of actors, artisans and technicians who have worked on various occasions together, and we have a familiarity and a support network which is second to none, and it's something that I hope to continue to do in the future. But I would also say if anyone has the opportunity to work with this company going forward, they should definitely take it because it's an incredible experience. I play Othello, the title character of the play, and who is Othello? That's a very good question. Othello is a man of honour, of respect, and of a military ethos that takes in the best and very, very brave and just kind of existence. But at its centre also, he is a vulnerable and flawed man, because he puts the idea of love and the idea of respect at such a height. It opens him up to having the opportunity of being manipulated, which is sad, but also I think interesting because you get to see the two sides of him, the kind of the yin and the yang of human emotion. He is incredibly in love with Desdemona, and he puts this love on such a pedestal that it goes to such a height that actually it becomes a little bit like a house of cards, that once there is just an almost minor abrasion of the existence that there might be some deceit in the relationship, he then opens himself up to disbelieve in the very love which he first had such high hopes for. And it has tragic consequences and ultimately ends in both Desdemona's death, Emilia's death, and then of course in due course his death. But even at the end, at his height, he still tries to regain some semblance of who he was, what he stood for, and what he was trying to achieve. He's remorseful, but he's ultimately broken at the end, and a complete juxtaposition as to where he starts the play, when he was at his most powerful, at his most respectful, at his most loving, to a shell of a man. One of the interesting lines in the play, which I say towards the end of the play, which is that, where should Othello go now? And I think that very much encapsulates his journey through the play. He's gone from the height of his powers to the vulnerability of his weakness. I think it's multifaceted in terms of the fact that at different points in the play, he's driven by duty, he's driven by courage, he's driven by optimism. But then at other points in the play, he's also driven by negativity, he's driven by doubt, he's driven by, at the absolute core, jealousy. He's driven by the fact that his jealousy manifests itself in terms of him feeling that he is being made a fool of, and that everybody can see that he's being made a fool of. And he feels that his wife is doing it in a public arena, which would cause him to lose face. When I was researching, doing the character, I am myself from Gambia, and obviously ultimately from the African continent. And one of the pidgin English lines that my mother constantly says is, you fitai my face. And what that means is, you slap me across the face. You make me, and I don't mean actually physically, but kind of like in essence, everybody gets to see how embarrassed you are. You lose face. This also is a European saying, and I'm sure people will be familiar with it, but that's what it's about. He's losing face in a public arena, in front of his peers, in front of dignitaries, in front of his soldiers. And that, for him, whether or not you agree with it or not, is incredibly hurtful, that he has lost face, and that a subordinate officer has basically bedded his wife. And that's ultimately, yes, that's why he kills Desdemona, because he thinks that he's cheated them. But through the course of the play, what you also see in what I think we call the laughter scene, he feels he's lost face because he's being laughed at. It's been done at his expense, and he can't bear it. And so it goes from basically feeling that she has cheated on him to actually what it's about. He's been, as he says in the play, cuckolded. He's been made to look stupid, and it absolutely fuels his anger that he can't control.
For me, that you realize that actually it's not that hard to play Shakespeare. There's something that's closer, like say with the meter to the iambic. There's something about getting to the heartbeat, the center of Shakespeare, that actually is a very natural way to bring out a performance, because Shakespeare lends itself to an actor. A lot of actors or a lot of performers or a lot of audience members almost feel that there is a disconnect because it's Shakespearean language, because it's Shakespeare's plays. It has to be done in a certain way. But at its base, actually, the advantage is what you realize is that actually Shakespeare is closer to the human condition than many other types of text. And I find that actually, naturally, it's not a hard place for me to go to, because I embrace it. I embrace the language, I embrace the ethos, I embrace him, Shakespeare, and respect him, and I give him his due respect. And what I get back from that as an advantage is an incredible tapestry canvas to be able to perform.